All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty huge tech update, one that's trying to solve, one of the oldest and frankly most annoying problems on the entire internet, the password. Yeah, we're actually talking about a future where you might never ever have to type one in again.
I mean, seriously, who isn't? It's that constant, frustrating cycle, right? You create one, you forget it, you reset it. It is a universal headache. It's just this little piece of friction that slows down our digital lives every single day. And the real problem is this crazy paradox. If you make a password simple enough to actually remember, well, it's probably way too weak to be secure. But if you make it super complex and secure, you're almost guaranteed to forget it. Let's be honest, they just weren't built for the world we live in now.
So what's the alternative? What if we could just get rid of them completely? Imagine logging in could be instant, totally effortless, and way, way more secure than any password could ever be. Well, a new update is making a very serious attempt to deliver on exactly that.
Okay, so here it is. On January 26, 2026, UID dropped its version 1.9 update. And look, this is not just some minor patch. It is a massive, foundational shift toward a truly passwordless internet. And it's built on three core ideas that we're about to break down. So first up is something called certificate-based authentication. Now, the easiest way to think about this is like having a unique, unforgeable digital keychain, or maybe a digital passport. The whole idea is shifting from what you know to what you have.
So how's it work? Well, you generate this unique, super secure certificate file on your device. And get this, for maximum security, you can then totally disable your old password login, making this certificate the only key to your account. And of course, it's all locked down with military-grade encryption.
And this is where UIID gives you a choice. For your most sensitive accounts, maybe your bank, you can go for a protected certificate, which adds an extra passphrase. But for everything else, you can just use the standard UIID certificate for a completely seamless one-tap login. You get to decide the balance between convenience and security. The power is in your hands.
But listen, for a passwordless future to actually happen, it has to be dead simple for developers to get on board. So this next innovation, it's for the people who build the web. It's a toolkit called Smart Tags, and it's designed to fix that annoying friction that stops us from signing up for new things in the first place.
Okay, picture this in practice. You land on a new website. The Smart Tag SDK, it's just a little bit of code, instantly checks if you're a UID user. If you are, boom, it suggests a one-tap login. No forms, no fuss. And if you're not, it can even create a temporary guest account so you can try things out first. Then the developer can just prompt you to make it permanent whenever it makes sense.
The whole point is to just demolish that initial barrier to entry. I mean, think about it. If signing up is effortless, websites and apps can massively boost how many users they get. You're just so much more likely to try a new service if you don't have to create yet another password, right? All right, the third and final piece of this puzzle is all about making UIID a kind of universal key for the rest of the internet. Because for any identity system to really succeed, it has to play nice with all the other services out there. And that's where something called OpenID Connect, or OIDC, comes in. Just think of it like a universal adapter for your digital identity. It's the standard that lets your one UID login securely connect you to all sorts of different apps without needing a separate password for any of them. So by becoming an official OIDC provider, UID can now basically plug into any modern system out there. This is a huge deal, especially for big companies. It also stays compatible with older systems and just gives developers the freedom to use the best tool for the job. So let's just do a quick recap. The UIID version 1.9 release is really built on three main pillars: those secure, passwordless certificates for us, the users, the Smart Tags SDK for the developers, and that OIDC support for universal integration. Each one of these features, the digital keychain for you, the smart login for developers, and that universal adapter for the web, they are all marching toward a single, incredibly ambitious goal: to finally, once and for all, make the password obsolete. Which, of course, leaves us with the big question. With powerful, genuinely user-friendly tools like this hitting the market, are we finally seeing the beginning of the end for the password? Well, I guess only time will tell.